one thing we're going to do, I think, at the end of episodes that people liked last week when we talked about Spider-Man, I want to get your guys' opinion on a movie. And over the holiday break, a movie from Adam McKay and Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence called Don't Look Up hit Netflix. And I know you both have seen it. Enough time has come for people to have seen it on Netflix if they wanted to. If you haven't, this is the end of the show for you. We'll see you next week. John and Jeremy, full spoilers, your thoughts on Don't Look Up.
I'll be brief, and then I'll turn it to Jeremy, because we kind of talked about this a little bit on the Patreon pod. I liked it. I enjoyed my time watching the movie. I felt like the comedy probably lands better for some people than others. I think it depends on what type of a person you are. For me, like, obviously it's poking fun at our present reality, and I am more saddened by our present reality, and like a lot of the jokes that the jokes, not that they didn't land, but it's like, okay, I get why that's supposed to be funny, but not that I couldn't even bring myself to laugh. It's just like, it didn't prompt a laugh from me, even though, again, it's very clear what they're trying to do, and what they're doing is very smart. I want to be very clear about that. Also, I thought the performances were excellent, as we discussed. I'll let Jeremy vamp on Mark Rylance, but Leo, last living movie star. I'll just end it there.
I loved it. I was hooked from the very beginning. It feels like a lot of movies, you need some time to really get into it, and this was like, oh, look, we're seeing that something is headed towards Earth. And just right from the get-go, and the cuts that they made, the humor, like the fact that Jennifer Lawrence's character could not let go of the fact that they were charged money for free snacks. Yeah. Like just the running gag of that.
That was good. That was good. Yeah.
The fact that no one knows what a Bronterak is, and then you find out at the end what a Bronterak is. The irony of like Jonah Hill's character living through hell and then like live streaming to a world that really doesn't exist with no signal or anything, and him having to kind of cope on his own. It feels very much of a reap what you sow movie. And I didn't feel like I was being preached to, because even though I agree with the philosophies that were being discussed, it was still like, the stakes are comparable to real life. And these are things that I think about on a daily basis. And it's very concerning. And it's nice to have something that you could call it propaganda, and I think you'd be very wrong. It's just, it is objectively a fact of what is going on in this world. So it was nice to kind of see that and laugh at it, but also have the reality sink in a different kind of way. And then ultimately I'd want to go the way that the lead characters went. If there is, some sort of situation like that, hopefully there isn't, but we're running out of time. And it was nice to see something that said, no, there are reasons to care. This is why. This is what's at stake. I felt like it was suspending belief at the same time of not doing it at all. So,
yeah, and one thing I forgot, very quick shout to, I'm not saying it was like the best performance of the movie, but the most, like, this could absolutely be a real person in terms of the way they are and the way they're like literally everything about what they do. The Tyler Perry talk show host, like that's like that could be, that literally could be a person in the way they go about, and like word for word.
The getting serious news, like the comet is coming, and him saying, "Can it hit my ex-wife's house? It's this place in New Jersey, if it's at all possible."
With the it's
yeah.
Again, he's not going to be nominated for any awards, but like, talk about spot on, spot fucking on.
And I do love Mark Rylance, as John said.
Mm-hmm.
I've been fortunate to see him on stage. He's phenomenal. Just everything he does, but like the ability to mimic a multi-billionaire who decides to privatize, an asteroid that basically will wipe out all of civilization as far as we know it, and not care about the greater good to even any extent. I was like, yeah, no, that feels dangerously realistic, and I hate everything about it, but he did just such a good job of it that it was like, this just feels believable.
Also, Sorry, Andrew.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the woman on the fake commercial that Leo's on, where she's like talking about what
I'm pro comment. It will bring us jobs.
No, but the way she says, I was talking to my friends about what the comic could do for me. It's that. See, I think it's gonna be a better movie on rewatch. I haven't gotten around to the rewatch yet.
It reminded me of every single commercial we've gotten during Knicks games that it's like, go get the vaccine, and they're trying to create like this like everyday scenario that this comes up in everyday conversation.
You know what? Also,
go ahead, Jeremy.
Sorry, it rings true to a commercial we haven't seen in a while, but now hits even harder, which is the off-road commercial where it's like, there's no road, zero road. Well, I guess I'll have to find my own path. It's like, there is no path because the world is. Anyway.
So two things. One, the Rylance character being the way it is, this movie has become a bit divisive because it's a little one way. I think collectively, the influence of billionaires on political decisions is a frustration by everybody on every side, which is why his character, I think, actually is the most important in the movie to make it more of a general commentary than just a one-sided, hits all at this point. Agree. And so Oz and I got to see it early, and it happened before Omicron surge. I think it might have just been announced that Omicron was like a thing. And so we saw it before any of this wave that we've had. Also before I've had the last 2 weeks that I've had. For those that have asked and reached out, my dad is still dealing with the effects of COVID, and he's not getting worse. He's just still has no taste. He experiences fatigue, has no appetite, has lost 17 pounds. Like, this is not a thing that I recommend to anybody that I wish on anybody. And I did not, when I saw the movie the first time, have the overall frustration that I have now that like we're still in this. And you can hear the lyrics of the Ariana Grande song, like, get your heads out of your ass and pay attention to the qualified goddamn scientists, as like the thesis of the movie. And yet here we still are dealing with this because there is a lot of agendas at play, which is where the movie works even more so, even if it is just all of us being frustrated at once that this is like, there was a path out and people in charge did not make the correct decisions to get us out. And it's where it's on the nose, but so is Dr. Strangelove. And that movie is beloved by all.
That was a good call when you called back to that as a movie that has aged very well. That had a
when you say you mean, so Oz, I will credit Oz is the one that referenced that. I think I referenced Spinal Tap as my like on the nose satirical play.
They're both good.
Exactly.
So everybody,
just really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew, you're saying how it only feels like it goes one way. It's like, well, there's only one way we are going based on how things are presenting themselves. And it's like, again, this is going to be on YouTube, and I'm sure that someone's going to comment about liberal bias and all, and it's just like, it's infuriating because of the fact that it shouldn't be political. It should just be nonpartisan. There's a problem. We got to fix it.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel
it
like
is political, Jeremy. Don't look up. Just don't look up.
That's the even better part. The actual title of the movie, when you realize why it's called Don't Look Up.
It's pretty great. And frightening. Yeah. Okay. That was good.